This is Robert Mendez at Cloud Connect 2012, Day 2. It's Tuesday afternoon. I'm fortunate enough to have with me today Lori MacVittie with F5 Networks. Welcome, Lori.
Thank you, Robert.
So we're talking today to folks about what it is that you're here to represent, how the cloud has brought advantages to F5 and to the enterprise in general. What is it? What specific reasons did you come to the show for? What do you hope to see here?
Well, the food, the swag, yeah. Right, and the T-shirts. Specifically from F5's perspective, this year I came to speak about performance issues in the cloud, which is something that F5 knows a lot about. We've spent a lot of years optimizing and accelerating applications. So there's a lot of similarities between trying to do that for an application served in a data center and an application served in the cloud. Where cloud tends to bring us challenges is around being able to control all the different knobs and buttons that need to be turned traditionally when we try to deal with performance issues. So a lot of our focus is on how do we do that, what can we provide to help offset those things we can't address, and how do we deliver that effectively into an environment where nobody really has a lot of control. It's all up to the provider.
So do you think that organizations are adapting as quickly as companies like F5, or are they behind the curve in general? How do you see that happening?
From a vendor side, I think we're doing pretty well. A lot of it is packaging. I mean, a lot of the technologies that we've used to do things with hosting companies and remote sites is very applicable. I think a lot of the terminology and the cloud washing that's gone on has actually confused the enterprise and customers into thinking that they need special technology and special techniques to deal with this. And really it's just a slight adaptation or the same technology that they can apply. They just have to know how to do that and how to architect to include it. So it's really more of an educational thing, I think.
So I'm just curious, what is up with this definitions? I see you folks talking on Twitter, all you really great people, and it seems like there really is no consensus. And our audience, the number one post that we see is the cloud definitions. It's been there for 2 years. It sort of keeps growing, but I'm just wondering, is there going to be a consensus soon on your side of that fence?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so, because everyone wants cloud to apply to their technology and their products. So they're going to try and fit it in one way or another, whether it's applicable or not, whether it's meaningful or not. Everybody wants to attach to whatever the hype is of the day. It was SOA before this, now it's cloud. We'll soon have something else to worry about. So, consensus, no. That's kind of like why F5 tends to focus more on, look, it's about an architecture, and here's another set of resources, a new way of provisioning, a new way of automating, and here's how to bring it into the systems that you use today and how to adapt and change so that you can take advantage of it and focus on how to do the things instead of what it is.
So you're an author, you're an accomplished developer, you're an expert on so many different things. What are the challenges for you personally going forward?
Trying to figure out how all of those are, married together, because they are converging. 5 years ago even, it was unheard of to hear networking focused anyone talking about infrastructure as code or programmable networks. Today, especially at Cloud Connect, we've heard that in just about every session. They're talking about being able to program the network, being able to run things as code, using configuration management databases and pulling things in, the whole DevOps movement. That's still a challenge, is figuring out how those are going to fit together and how to do that effectively, and then how to leverage it, as a vendor to provide the tools that ops team is going to need to be able to do just that.
And for F5, I mean, they certainly have come so far, so fast in so many different things. When is the critical mass catch up, and where does it go on to cruise control? Is there a point that you see that happening as far as the migration to the cloud, the pathway to portability, and all those sorts of ideas?
Well, I think we're a long way off. I think adoption is a lot slower than people. I guess, are presenting, because when they say adoption, they make it sound as if companies are wholesale moving to the cloud.
Right.
And they're not. They're moving pieces to the cloud, and there's new challenges that come with that. Integration of not just the applications, but the infrastructure. And there's challenges with, how do we authenticate? Where do we store this? What happens if the cloud goes down? Because that does happen. How do we deal with that? So I think there's just, new challenges, coming every day. So there's no real time to just be complacent about where we're at. There's a whole lot of market out there that hasn't moved to cloud yet, that, hasn't really moved that way. So I think we've got a long way to go.
Any guess as to the top 3 obstacles? I mean, is it standards? Is it what are the things that you see as that need to open up in order to make the pathway a little bit smoother?
Yeah, I don't know if it needs to be standards, but consistency, the ability to manage across your cloud, across your data center, your remote data centers, whatever they will be, to manage that consistently, to be able to collect all the data you need so that you can figure out, where something's fast, where something's broken, how to fix it. That needs to be done in a consistent way. We've done that in the past. We had HP OpenView and CA and IBM. They have technologies for this, and now we need to, take that a step further and start applying that to the cloud. How do we bring those into the fold and be able to manage them in a consistent manner to really add value to the products?
Well, you've heard it from Lori MacVittie from F5 Networks. This is Robert Mendez at Cloud Connect 2012. Tune in at nethawk.tv to learn more.